absolutely right. And somebody called me out on this yesterday in the comments, or a couple days ago. They said, you need to be more humble. There's a lot of people out there who can't afford one Bitcoin, because I was talking about how rare it is for somebody to own a Bitcoin. And I never said I have a Bitcoin. I would never say if I have a Bitcoin or not, but I don't. But even if I did, I would never tell anybody that I have it. That's the number one rule on Bitcoin, is never tell anybody how much Bitcoin you have. Nobody. But they're like, you need to be more humble. There's a lot of people out there can't afford one Bitcoin. Yeah, no fucking shit. Most millionaires can't afford one Bitcoin right now. So I'm not bragging that I have. I'm just saying it's incredibly rare for somebody today to have one Bitcoin. And I think it's going to be even more rare in 10 years from now that somebody has one Bitcoin. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because you don't need to focus on trying to get one Bitcoin. That should not be anybody's focus or goal. It should just be getting as many sats as you possibly can. And so the thing I was going to talk about today, and I'll just briefly mention this because I think it is applicable right now. But if you think about this, think about becoming a millionaire in the fiat system. With your current life, your current job, your current situation, think about how long it would take you to become a millionaire. Let's say your salary is $100,000, which is much higher than most people's. So if you just purely took in income and had zero expenses, that would be 10 years to do that, to get to $1 million at $100K salary. Then you factor in tax. That's just one expense that everybody has to pay. And for people with a salary, getting a tax slip every year, that's coming off before it even touches your bank account. So then it goes to, let's say, 15 years to become a millionaire. But that's if you have no other costs. You have no mortgage, you have no car payment, you don't eat anything. You don't have living in the future membership. So let's say maybe 25 years. If you were starting today and you wanted to become a millionaire based on working a job, it would take you 25 years. So what I wanted to talk about, and what I'm so fascinated and obsessed over right now, is that if you take $1 in the US right now, $1. So fiat world, it's going to take you 25 years to get to 1 million, probably best case. But if you're in the US and you take $1 right now, that will get you, hold on here. Sorry, I should have had this info already. 1,030 sats. In other words, you can be, if you share the same theory as me that one day one sat is going to be equal to $1, it might take 10 years, it might take 20, 25. Let's say it takes 25 years. But if you're saving in Bitcoin, you're going to be able to speed that process up by 1,030%. Right? So when you're going through your days and you're like, okay, if you're still living in fiat, let's say that you maybe earn $200 per day. Best case probably, or 250, whatever it is. But if you switch it to be thinking in Bitcoin terms, and you say, okay, I can listen to a podcast and I can get 50 sats. I can take a survey on ZBD and I can get 20 sats. I can listen to a song on Wavelake and make 50 sats. I can make a nice post on Nostr and maybe earn 500 sats or 1,000 sats. And you can see how Bitcoin basically speeds up your ability to become a millionaire by 1,000 times right now. And that's why when the price goes down, it's actually a blessing for anybody who's trying to save in Bitcoin, because you can take your time and your energy or your fiat and convert that into Bitcoin for much more. So if you want to become a millionaire, the only way that you're going to do it is in Bitcoin. And if you have a long enough time frame, it's 1,000 times easier to become a millionaire right now. And in a couple months from now, it's probably going to be cut to 500 times easier. But that's not the point. The point is you should treat every sat like $1, and you should go through each day trying to get as many sats as you can, just like you do with dollars. Genius, right? Genius. Think differently. Think differently. UJ5 tuned in 88 Sats Radio with 88 people watching. Nice. All right. What else do we got here? Harmonious. Hey, Jor, what's up, man? Thanks for your time. Say hi to my brother, Jose, and tell him to get some Bitcoin. Jose, well, you know what? Harmonious, just show him the last 5 minutes that I spent talking about here. Jose, you are never going to be rich in fiat. You are never going to afford a house in fiat. You might not even afford a car if you're saving in fiat. But if you start saving your Bitcoin, if you start converting your time, your energy, and fiat into Bitcoin, you're going to get there 1,000 times faster. And to me, that's a no-brainer. So that applies to Jose, that applies to everybody watching this, and that especially applies to the Gen Z folks out there who don't feel like they have a chance at this thing, but they do. You just have to look at things differently, and you have to store your time, energy, and value in Bitcoin instead of fiat. That's it. Very simple. But you have to remember that the easy part is buying Bitcoin. The hard part is keeping it and storing it. BitBilly says, I'm filling out that call form, George. Is it a phone call or a Zoom? It's up to you. When you set up, you can find a link to my Calendly. It's like you can just book a call in there anytime with me. It's been pretty hot lately, but no, I mean, when you set up your call, you can choose if you want a phone call or a Zoom. It's up to you. And so whatever you choose, that's how I either call you or I just click join. Very easy. Knox Bill, good morning, my friend.